Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. So we're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, a few disclaimers. Oh boy. Anyways, rant incoming. Warning now. Fast forward. You know. So one of the things I don't seem to understand, I've seen the right push for years, is they're indoctrinating the children. Have you met teenagers? Let's be blunt here, shall we? Yeah, let's be blunt. Does pop culture in some way influence teenagers? What's cool, what's not cool? Yes, okay, granted. But I will state it again. Have you met teenagers? You can't tell teenagers, trigger warning, I'm gonna curse, shit. Alright. Alright. You have individuals coming from states like mine, where the pressure is not that pride and everything is cool. They get ostracized. They get bullied. For the love of God, what happened to Matthew Shepard happened here. And it hasn't gotten to be a more friendlier state in my state since then. We have cities like Kansas City and St. Louis, sure, but by and large, the majority of my state is very much still incredibly, deeply homophobic. If you have individuals who come out of the closet in states like this and stay so proudly, they are the bravest people I know, bar none. Bar none. The level of hatred that these individuals have to face in a conservative state like mine, I don't think I could actually be able to describe it in a way to help you guys wrap your brains around it. And to remain so openly, in spite of all the so-called Christian love and all the hatred, the bullying, and the vitriol that they, and if their family does affirm them, have to face. Yeah. It's astronomical, folks. To sit there and try and say that they're grooming the children, they're grooming the teenagers. Children are impressionable. Teenagers, not so much. Okay? Okay? We like what we like when we're teenagers. We're more likely to rail against you and stay in the things that we like than to just simply go along with the nonsense. At least that's what I used to believe until AH, but don't get me started on my woes about this current generation again, because we'll be here all day. My point is, someone affirming someone coming out of the closet, someone affirming someone who is transgendered, does not in any way, shape, or form affect you or your child. Where someone goes to the bathroom does not affect you or your child. They're not grooming your kids. What I'm seeing a lot of is parents who spent more time at work and then just vegging out and allowing social media to raise their kids And by the time they hit teenage years and they don't recognize them, they want to blame everyone else but where the problem started, with themselves. You're a few years too late. Quit blaming everyone else and address your own bigotry. No one's grooming your kids. To put it in more perspective, you want to know who has the highest influence on your kids? It's not the media. It's not the internet. It's not the TV or YouTube. It's you. Take that to heart. Now, to the disclaimers. In the description box, folks, you're going to find a link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It's written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavioral modification program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much, they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. Well, NeuroClastic has refused, so you know the drill. Please read that article and share it on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding, folks, in case the JRC actually sees through with their threat. Also included in there is the Ozarks first article in regards to the Agape boarding school / known as Stone for Help boarding school situation. This is a so-called Christian-themed boarding school based out of Stockton, Missouri that takes in so-called troubled male teens, that has in pending, folks, over 21 civil lawsuits, claims, and allegations leveled against it, all which have thus far been substantiated by the Missouri Department of Social Services, and they include the following: sodomy, rape, sexual assault, child abuse, psychological and emotional abuse, child trafficking, starvation, and that's just for starters. You have one former staff member arrested by the FBI, another a doctor who still lives on the premises, full access of the boys up on multiple, again, substantiated claims of sodomy, rape, and sexual assault of the boys there. You got an attorney general too busy chasing after drag queens and trying and failing to defund public libraries to actually do his job. And you got a governor who's beyond hope. So send help. Get us last few individuals too poor to leave the hell out of here. Share that article on all your social media. Also included in there, the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shots campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, Jennifer Masemba's behavioral sheet of shockable offenses, a clip out of the 7-hour ordeal undergone by Andre McCollins back in 2002, the templates and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, folks, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, alright? This channel is smart, not for children. For a reason, we use profanity and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they're watching this, very obviously parental supervision is very much advised, alright? Alright, square your shoulders. Get out your calming tea. That's right, because trigger warning, folks, we are about to once again descend into the bad ravings of the lunatic mind known as Dr. Matthew Israel. You're going to hear gaslighting, victim blaming, pseudoscience and lies, abuse and torture apologencia, all coming from a man with a massive ego and even larger God complex. So, folks, prepare yourselves for the stupid, alright? The contingent food program and specialized food program may impose unnecessary risks affecting the normal growth and development and overall nutritional health status of the students subjected to this adverse behavior intervention. This criticism raised by INSEAD June 9, 2006 report was answered by JRC's response to the INSEAD report, which was a bunch of flowery nonsense. You did not, in your so-called response, address a single concern brought up by New York. You instead tried to demonize them, like they came out of there for no reason, but they did it unannounced and they wouldn't let us guide them. Can I say it for the billionth time? When we do visits like that, when we come out there, that's because it's been made more than glaringly clear that there is reason for concern. Which means when we go out there, we are not there for your excuses. We are not there for your lies. We're not there for your guided tour and your nauseating propaganda. We're there for the truth. You will not get the truth on a guided tour. Are you on crack? You get to the truth when you go there unannounced and you go into the places that people like the JRC don't want you to go, to see what they don't want you to see. There was no benefit to New York to report the findings that they did. There was no monetary compensation for those visits. There was no money in it. Nobody paid them off. They didn't get promoted to high lucrative positions. Okay? That's not how these types of jobs work. Believe me on that one, alright? Just saying. Because let's look like the Ritz to you. I promise you my other apartment back in the day was even smaller and more depressing looking. Okay? What you wrote in your so-called response was not a response. It was a flowery language. It was playing the world's smallest violin. It was playing the victim. Okay? You did nothing in your response but play the victim. If they just would have let us give them the tour is not a response to their direct claims, sir. Substantiated by witness testimonies. Substantiated by other independent investigations done since then. Okay? You did not answer a single thing in that New York response. I know because I've read it and we've done videos on its entirety on this channel. It wasn't a response. It was over 100 pages of you stamping your foot like a 3-year-old toddler saying, but I want what I wanted. I want you to say what I tell you to say. And how dare you not agree with me? But I'm right. Yeah. Okay, doctor. It wasn't a response. It was an incoherent, rambling bunch of flowery word salad that almost makes AH look sane in comparison. Okay? You did not answer a single allegation or finding in that New York report. What you did was sat there and whined and played victim and kept demanding why you were not told because you seemed to not understand the purpose behind unannounced visits and how you were the victim and everyone's attacking you. Kind of like you're doing in this monstrosity right here. When you have refrigeration issues, as the New York report talks about, when with your food contingency program you make them earn every bite of food And it goes to levels where certain types of food can get dangerous. And you don't answer it. You just slam your foot down and say, I don't understand why they wouldn't take the guided tour and regurgitate our talking points to the world. That's not a response. I don't know what it is, but it's certainly not a response. And once again, you are still not answering the questions. You say, well, go to our response. You go to that response. It's the same thing. Well, they say, well, go to our videos. They'll explain everything. But they don't. You have not answered a single allegation. You have not answered a single finding in that report. You've just played the victim loudly and act butthurt when no one believes you. Because when we do those investigations, we're not just making allegations. We present pictures, photographic evidence when the case calls for it. Yeah. Okay? When states do visits, you can't just sit there, but they lied! Because that's not how these types of visits go. We present our findings in their entirety, including the evidence to back them up. You want to know why? Because we have higher ups in our government that we have to answer to. There are protocols in place. We don't just get to throw allegations around at people. We're not AH. Okay? Your food contingency program is dangerous on multiple fronts, and it should be challenged. Your food and safety performance should have got you closed down, if nothing else, a long time ago. We're going to close on that. I know I'm making it short, but bleh. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I am sorry it's so short, but I do appreciate your time. As always, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. Bye-bye, everyone. See you next week.